Hi everyone, I'm Mark, and I have just washed up on the beach in Path of Exile Betrayal League. This is episode 1 of a new series I'm going to try out. We're going to play through the Act 1 through 10 of the game and sort of play through at a semi-fast but not super fast pace. And see
that'll do for now.
What's up.
I thought I saw some smoke rising just north of here. Could be worth checking if...
And we're going to kill our first zombie.
No solace in this tortured land.
So, if you're not familiar with Path of Exile, it is a free-to-play action RPG. And as you can see, there's a lot of monsters to kill. And there's plenty of ways to play this really fast. If you want to watch speedrunner type play, there are plenty of streamers who do that kind of stream. I'm going to sort of take a slower approach. I don't want to say I'm going to be slow because I'm not really that slow, but I am not going to go crazy with the racing style play. And hopefully this will be a fun journey. We can stop and pick up some lore along the way and have a good time with it. So as you can tell, the art style is sort of grim and gritty, and I do love the water. Hopefully this looks good in the stream. I like the water that they've done. They've made a lot of graphics upgrades recently. Now we're going to kill good old Hillock. He's sort of our first big challenge.
It would seem
And
my god
we
has
gain
no
a
need
level,
for my company
and
just yet.
we pick up some loot, and we move on.
You got the big bastard.
So I am going to be playing a character that uses totems for their primary source of damage. I'm going to be playing a Glacial Cascade totem build with the Templar and the...
A tyrannical Templar to be tested and tempered in the straits of Wraeclast. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy, mate. You could damn a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. Alas, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Merry Gull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there, amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opton was lousy with a scalpel and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the shaky hands, if you ask me.
So, there's a lot of voiceover in this, and I'm kind of going to try and remember to let that play through. I've heard it all before, so it's going to be a hard habit for me to break to, talk over it and just walk away while they're talking kind of stuff, but we'll see.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of those undead bastards. No, don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
Alright, so we pick up our first skill gem, which probably isn't really going to help us. Glacial Cascade is sort of a caster type build, so maybe I'll grab that for now and see how it goes.
Farewell.
So the big thing we get is the stash. And, oh, that's cool. They added some icons so you can tell what's what. So I need to rearrange this a bit. We'll see. How does this work? If I right click, it moves it to the beginning. there are a few specialized tabs in here that take specific item types. This one's going to take our currency, and this one is going to take our maps. And I sort of have a standard set of color codes that I use for all these, so I can find them in my brain quickly. And this is cards, which we won't really have a bunch of, and this is essences. So we'll do that, and we'll do, for now I'm going to do this and just do that and call it D for dump, because I don't really want to sit here all the time and take a close look at all the gear we get. We're going to look at some gear because it's useful, but I don't necessarily want to spend hours looking at it all. Oh, I'm out of ID scrolls already. Sure. What are we using? That's about the same. So that ring I'm going to keep, and that's of no use to me, so I'm going to sell it. And when you sell items, you get various currency back,
While we live, we are blessed.
which goes into this currency tab of your stash. And I don't really want to switch off from our... Do I? We may as well. We may as well go ahead and commit to our spellcaster type build. And I'm just going to do this. Not that these are particularly useful, but we'll keep them. And this is not going to be useful at all, because spells are not attacks. But we will keep that ring for now. Useless or not. Alright, so we got a quest completion, and this is sort of our quest tracker. This is our currently active quest, and the quest we completed was killing Hillock. And now it's time to actually spend our first passive tree point. Passive tree is a little intimidating. So I am using a build guide for this, and I will have a link to the build guide in the description of this video, so you can see what I'm doing and follow along if you like. There are plenty of build guides on the forums for all kinds of different play styles, so you're sure to find something that is fun if you want to get into this without having to try and navigate this maze without landmarks. So I am starting up this path right away. One of our early goals is to get to Ancestral Bond here, which will give us an extra totem. Totems are basically going to be casting all our spells for us, so that's a good early goal. And we're going to pick up some damage nodes along the way. But for now, what we're going to do is go out and kill some more monsters. Yep. I was going to say we could go back and look and see if we have any gear we can buy, but we probably don't have any currency for gear, so... Alright, so I am gonna...
What
I have
in God's
nothing
name
at
is that
all.
smell?
Aksala, Exile.
And Jun here is the NPC for the actual Betrayal League.
I am Jun Ortoy of the sun-scorched plains of Vestiri. I am investigating the disappearance of several prominent exiles. I have surreptitiously been observing your movements since you washed ashore. The way you handled the blacksmith showed me you were suitable for the task I must ask of you. Wraeclast is lawless, but it is not without justice, and some here are more deserving of death than others. The missing were good people, capable fighters doing what they could to bring light to a situation mired in darkness. I believe they were taken by a group calling themselves the Immortal Syndicate, and I fear they will not be the last. Cannibals roam the shores here, but hidden amongst them is a small fortification I believe to be an Immortal Syndicate outpost. They have posted guards along the perimeter, so we must be cautious. Seek it out. I will meet you there, and together we will infiltrate it.
Okay, so we have our first mission from John.
Be careful.
And the Immortals Syndicate hideouts give us access to a bunch of stuff. I haven't really looked in detail at this league. I like to start new leagues sort of going cold and see how they work for myself. There's plenty of info on the forums. So if you prefer to look ahead and you're playing, that's where to go. And I'm actually going to pick up some junk here that I wouldn't ordinarily pick up because I want some ID scrolls and other gear. And boy, that's a slow casting time. There's a scroll, we want that. And if you're playing this for the first time, you will get a lot of loot dropping on the ground. I strongly recommend installing a loot filter. It won't really matter so much when you first start playing, but once you get to higher levels, the amount of loot that drops is just insane and will quickly clog your screen. So loot filters are a good idea. And I'm using NeverSync's loot filter, which I guess I should probably include that in the description below too. If I remember to, I will add that. There's a little lore for us to check out.
Khan's canoe struck this sand with the force of destiny. At his beck, the greatest war host in Karui history tamed the wild sea, their canoes coupling with the land one by one. Lion-eyes gemlings met us with shining metal and bold words. Hyri's arrows withered their pride, Calm's axis silenced their despair. Marseilles Lion-eye fought bravely to the last. Calm honored him with a place on his belt. Calm has shown Wraeclast our Karui strength. Calm will teach Wraeclast the Karui way.
A little history lesson. And there's a first sort of mini-boss. Ordinarily, I don't really bother with her because she kind of hurts, to be honest. And there we go. We have killed her. Those are... yeah, we'll pick that up. I'm trying to pick up white items that are small in your inventory because you do have very
My
limited
prayers are
inventory
thus
space.
answered.
So, if you're wondering why I'm leaving some stuff and not others, there you go. So since we're doing a spell-based build, I can actually keep wands and use those. They have stats that can be applicable to my build. Increase spell damage. I can see on the mini-map down there that we have...
Here, Exile. I will follow your lead. Be careful.
Oh, this is our fortress. I guess we should be killing this guy who's trying to kill us. Wow, he hurts. might need to turn off. I need to turn this off, so...
My mana is spent.
Trying to figure out if I can kill the Wow, he's really gonna kill me. Or maybe I should kill the healing totem first. That's the key. Alright, see, we learn
They were
something
dead.
every time we do
I
this.
saw their body cold and blue as the sea. Yet here they are, as alive as you or I.
Okay, so we defeated him, and now we need to talk to John again to see what we're supposed to be doing
Exile,
here.
I want to show you something. I have been carefully tracking the Syndicate members we have encountered. Understanding how they interrelate will help us paint a picture of the rest of the organization, and eventually lead us to whoever is in charge. I believe we can manipulate and take advantage of their relationships to bring us closer to the head of the Syndicate. And I have made this chart to keep track of all the details. I believe you will find it useful.
Okay, so this is the guy we just killed. So I don't know that we can do anything here at the moment. So let's see what the help says. Tells us about the relationships. You may not be able to read this on the stream. The question marks are people we haven't met yet. Yellow means they're in the same division as far as the chords. Green means they are allies. Red means they are enemies. And the icons are ranks. They have sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. And I guess the items tell what they drop. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to do here.
We must decide what we will do with our captive. What you choose to do will impact our ability to investigate further. Talk to our captive. I will watch your back.
Of course, we could just listen to Guff or listen to John, and she'll tell us what our choices are.
I got treasure for you. You know, if you look the other way, friend.
Okay, so if I imprison him, or if I take interrogate, he is in prison for 3 turns. We get more information about this section of the organization, which is fortification. And then then that information slowly fades away. Or we can bargain with him and get an item. So let's go ahead and bargain, because I'm more interested in items early game. And I heard a bunch of stuff drop in the background, so we are
Keep your
done
word
here.
or lose your head.
And that's not bad. We'll go ahead and take some of these just so I can start accumulating some currency.
Catch and release? You may scare the other fish away, but you may also follow it to a hidden reef. Information is important and can be gathered by force or by politics. Go now. It is risky to be seen with each other.
Okay, and we also did gain a level, so I'm going to go ahead and advance our tree a little bit. I'm picking up a node which gives us increased damage. And a lot of these smaller nodes don't have a ton of effect, but they do add up over time. Alright, there's our waypoint to town. I'm just going to pop back to town really quick and dump this loot, because I want more loot.
What little help I can offer is yours.
So, all these white items I don't really care about, and we'll just sell those off. Things are a bit laggy because the league just started, so that's not really useful to us. That's not really useful. I'm just going to sell these items unidentified for now. Well, we'll identify the shoes. I was hoping for something that was going to give us some run speed, but no such luck. I want to keep this because I want to identify it. And we'll sell that stuff.
While we live,
So
we are blessed.
we got a little bit of currency out of that.
Some of the members we have come across, well, they have come back from the dead. I don't have any better way of putting it. They are no mindless zombies. Somehow, they are returning, whole. This must be why they call themselves the Immortal Syndicate. Immortality is dangerous, even in the hands of those with good intentions.
Okay, so we have this veiled item. And you can see on this sash that we have that weird glowy effect down there, which is a veiled modifier. I guess this is free. Alright, so let's go ahead and unveil this. And we can place mods on the item. And I'm guessing these are going to go with the new Master Enchanting system. So let's go ahead and add some resist to this, even though the physical damage isn't really useful. Yeah, okay, there. We just unlocked that crafting recipe, so once we get a hideout and we can do master crafting, there we go. So I'm going to throw this on because it does give us more resist, and resists are always useful. Gives us a little bit of energy shield, but not much. I'm also going to put these shoes on, and that's giving us more energy shield over here, and we're done with Jun. We don't really have any currency to speak of, but I'll put this stuff away. I'm going to dump that axe until we can ID it, because ID'd rare items are going to give us better results. And we did pick up one scroll, which I'll take with us just because we might find something useful. So back out to the waypoint, and waypoints are just the way to navigate. I'm skipping over a bit of stuff that I assume people know, but I shouldn't do that. So our next destination is this little node right here, which is the Tidal Island. And that is where we're going next to go find the medicine chest, which will be our second quest. Well, our second major quest, because we killed Hillock was the first one, and we did the little side quest, which is League specific, so it doesn't really count as a major quest. Oh, there's a life flask, which we will definitely pick up. And when you swap flasks in the field, they go to 0 charges, and as you kill monsters, flasks will slowly refill, which is how the whole flask system works. We may as well pick up this shield because we don't have one, and it's going to give us little spell damage. We've got another lore node here, so we'll listen to the lore. There's a lot of guys. I don't know, do zombies count as guys? We did get another level, so let's go ahead and pick our next node, which these three are going to give us elemental damage, and that's our path we're going to follow.
Calm has removed the eternal stain from this coast. The Empire's citizens decorate our meeting houses with their heads. Our warriors build homes for our families. Our families till the earth, fish the waters, fill the air with song. The Kardui way is yet a seedling here, but it grows, gains in pride and power every day. Calm has kept his promise. The time of the Kardui has come.
So, we're reading the lore of the invaders, apparently. Which, based on what we find out about the people that originally lived here, you know, the invaders weren't such a bad thing. There he is. And if you watch the skill that he's using, that's the skill we're actually going to end up using. Just with the totem. There's our medicine chest, there's a useful ring, and another flask. Yes, we'll pick that up. So if we ID this ring, intelligence, which gives us a little more mana, and life. And life is always good. At least for this build. So if I was a racer, I would already be back in town and turning in the quest and moving on. But I'm not, so I'm going to go ahead and just do some stuff. Walk the path back to the waypoint, kill some more monsters along the way. Alright, we are back to the exit. So I can also level up our gem, and leveling your gem gives you a little more damage. I will talk a little more about the gem system once we have a few that are interesting. For now, though, we are going to turn in the medicine chest quest.
I'd almost stopped believing in miracles. This medicine chest, it's greater than the serums and salves it holds. It tells us that we can do more in Wraeclast than merely suffer. I've not much to offer in return, but please, take something in thanks for what you've done.
And we are, of course, going to take the Quicksilver Flask, which gives us a little move speed buff. And, she's going to give us a second quest reward. And I'm pretty sure we're going to take Arcane Surge. We can't really use this yet, but we will keep it for now.
Take care.
So, you managed to salvage Shaky Hand's druggery. Nicely done. Nessa will put it to good use. More than that benumbed quack Optin ever did.
Got a job for you, if you're willing. There's a pool near the mudflats needs investigating. You'll smell it before you see it. Stinks like a carcass in high summer, but that's not the worst of it. Dead birds walking. Animals don't rise up again the same as people do here. So if they aren't raising themselves, what's doing it for them? The answer's in that fetid pool. Clear the place out and kill whatever's raising those rowers. We've got enough living dead to contend with already. Stay sharp out there.
Okay, so this is a side quest we don't really have to do, but I'm going to do it because I do all the quest things. And we are going to move on through the mudflats. and find the fetid pool. We're also going to find some...
Aksala, exile.
Apparently we're going to find
Exile.
Jun
I have
again.
found another.
And we're going to find a supply caravan in here
Celerin.
somewhere. I interrupted her little speech, so... I'm guessing we're going to have to kill whoever's guarding the supply caravan. And things are a bit laggy, so hopefully that's not going to affect our recording too much. Everyone in the universe is probably trying to download the patch at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a reboot sometime today while I'm playing, since the League just went live about, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. Alright, and what we're looking for is somewhere along this edge we're going to find the entrance to the fetid pool. But before we do that, I see a quest marker down south of us, so let's go ahead and grab that.
The path becomes clearer with each bloody step.
I'm going to go ahead and pick these up because I know we need them. And I also know that somewhere over here we should find another one. There it is. And you probably noticed there's a couple different categories of monsters. We have these rare monsters who give us more XP when we kill them. And there should be, there it is, one more down this way. Actually, that's probably where we turn these in, so that's probably not where I need to go, but currency. There's our caravan. This little green icon here, which you may not be able to see very well.
Exile. They are trying to escape. We must defeat
What's
them
this?
quickly.
A new challenger? The caravan is yours.
Alright, so we have defeated our challenger. We have a caravan, so again, we have John who has some information for us, and we have this guy here who we're probably going to have to figure out what we're going to do with him.
Great work, Exile. What do you want to do with our captive?
Alright, so we
You
are going to
beat me fair and
do...
square. And I can respect that. But to beat the odds, to beat someone with friends in high places, that demands respect and awe. Free me and select from my cohorts an ally, and we will see what you're truly made of.
You know, I'm going to interrogate him just to see how it goes. I'm wondering what turns mean. I guess it's probably times we encounter
I wonder how
the
much
enemy.
more of an animal you will be when we're through.
I guess we'll find out. Pick up a couple things we might be able to use. We might be able to use that too. There is our third bit of the quest items that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and take these up to this exclamation point because I happen to know that that is going to be where we can get rid of them temporarily. They basically open the way to the next area, but we still need to go back and do the fetid pool. But it also gets them out of our inventory, so we just save a little room that way. And I'm going to do a little... What do we want to look at? Let's look at this. Ooh. little magic find for us. Another currency. So a little while back I was talking about item filters. And one of the things you get from item filters is the colored... And this is the higher level monster, and this one has a nasty chaos aura. It's probably going to kill me if I'm not careful. There's a coral ring, which we'll want. And, you know, we'll take the scepter too. Just because we can. The item filter highlights items according to their value, so more valuable items are easier to spot on the ground. You know, that basic blue, yellow, white is fine, but it'll also highlight different forms of currency with brighter colors so they're easier to spot. And it can also change the size of the various labels. So we have to kill everything in here. So I'm just going to start killing everything we encounter. And I'm going to gain a level so we can go ahead. Oh, we've gained 2 levels actually. So I can go ahead and spend 2 more skill points. And as we level... Oh man. There we go. We are gaining attributes too. So we're looking for basically anything that moves in here we have to kill. Because that's part of the quest, is kill all the monsters. But we're also going to be killing the Necromancer, who is sort of the boss of this area. I'm going to pick up a few extra potions just so we can use a vendor crafting recipe to make higher level potions. And since this is my first character in this league, sort of be a little greedy about what we pick up. Because we have nothing. It's a new league, so. And we are not playing hardcore. If we were playing hardcore, I'd be being a lot more careful. I have played hardcore, and it's not really my thing. I hear a zombie somewhere. There they are. And if you're wondering what the text that keeps showing up on the left is, those are just people. It's showing ladder progress from people in the league. We're going to get a lot of that for now because people are advancing really fast. There are a lot of people who race to reach various goals quickly. And that's fine. I don't mind seeing it, but that's what it is if you find it distracting. I find it distracting sometimes. Okay. Back to the mudflats. And I know for a fact that there is another lore thing in here somewhere. I saw it at one point, and I didn't go over and read it, so there it is. We can take a quick look at this. We'll go back to town and get our quest reward, and then we're probably at a pretty decent stopping point for the first episode.
Black storms descend on...
Oops.
Black storms descend on us from the north. Unnatural tempests of rage and hatred, lashing our backs, tearing at our houses. The rain is shot with shadow. It withers our crops, sickens our livestock. And the wind carries with it a restless spirit that breeds melancholy and madness. A spirit that creeps through our dreams, weaves tales of misdeed around our resting minds. We try not to listen. We try to remember ourselves. Some of us forget. Brothers fight. Brothers die. Calm punishes those that quarrel, that steal, that murder. Yet still the nightmares goad us into malefaction. We Karui are banished from sleep.
So the invaders aren't having a very great time of it, are they? That's what you get for invading. Alright. I'm going to head for the exit. And if we run into anything really interesting along the way, we'll stop. But I think we're just going to have some zombies. And one thing to be aware of is I'm currently level 6. And the monsters in this zone, which you can read up here, are only level 4. So their XP value is falling off pretty sharply now. So we need to advance to keep our XP earnings moving. So we are now in, what is this called? The Submerged Passage. And I know for a fact that there is a waypoint here. We don't have any more quests though, so let's go back to town and go ahead and turn in our quests, and then we can wrap it up.
Now that you've drained that passage, best I warn you about something. I was running down a wounded rower one night's eve when I glimpsed something in that waterlogged cavern. Looked a bit like a sand spitter, only the size of a bloody ox. I reckon it's nesting down in those flooded depths somewhere. If you're going that way, then do us a favor. Spill the old shield crab's guts before it gets hungry and comes looking for us.
Alright, so another quest we can pick up, and I'm going to pick up... I think I will go ahead and pick up Flame Totem, even though it's not super valuable.
A necromancer? Just the one, was it? Guess the bastard got a bit lonely, decided to make himself some pets. Well, good to see you don't mind getting your hands good and filthy. Here, to mark a dirty job well done.
Okay, he's going to give us a Book of Regrets as a quest reward, which...
I've travelled inland on the Emperor's Road via Prisoner's Gate. Had to skirt around Axiom Prison. That's the holdfast of Brutus the Warden. Bloody treacherous trip it was. Worth it? There's forest inland. Game, berries, fruit. More food than we can scrounge here. But most here wouldn't survive the journey. Would be a damn sight easier if we could pass through the prison. Tell you what. You carve us a path up the coast. Find us a way past or through Brutus. And you'll have more than a few lives owing to you.
And
Farewell.
as you can see, I'm pretty used to interrupting those and just moving on. So the Book of Regrets just lets us, if we go into the passive tree, we have refund points left. So if we make a mistake or we want to change our skill tree here, we can. And we accumulate a bunch of those. I think it's like a 12 or 14 along the way. So it's relatively easy to make small adjustments to your tree. Readjusting the whole tree, though, is a considerably more difficult task. So it does pay to be a little careful and have a plan. So I'm going to sell some items. I don't need... Let's not sell these yet. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll just sell them. I will also put these scrolls where they should be for me. I'm going to keep this ring because it's got life and mana on it. I'm going to identify that wand. And I should identify that too, but I can't. And I should identify that too, but I can't. So I'm going to sell the junk that I can't use. And none of these are really useful, so we'll sell that too. I don't know, what do we have here? Increased elemental. That's a slight improvement, so we'll go ahead and use this. So this has our gem in it for our frostbolt, so I'm going to take that out and just stick it somewhere. And that gives us a little boost to our damage. I'll sell that, and the rest I'm going to keep for now and throw in our dump tab. We do get a lot more currency as time goes on, so we won't be quite so strangled once we get some more going. And with that, we have 2 quests to take care of going forward, but I am going to call this right here. This has run longer than a typical episode, so I'm going to take a break real quick, And then next episode we'll move on to the submerged caverns and the flooded depths and Prisoner's Gate. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the somewhat slower pace than some of the other Path of Exile stuff you find. If you have any feedback, please feel free to leave a comment. Likes, subs are always appreciated. And if you want to keep up with what's happening on the stream, feel free to hit the notification bell to be reminded when new episodes go out. I'm Mark, and this is the end of episode 1 of Path of Exile Betrayal. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.